Try not to put the dash.
So is it better .net than .com with the dash?
It's better .com because people hardly think .net. They just automatically think .com when they go to Google. So it's best if you can not to put the dash though. But I know you wanted that name, you won't pay $7,000. But if you get any other names, because I have several names. I have MarshaLynnHudson.com. I have MarshaTheHeadshotGuru.com. I have MarshaHudsonMedia.com. Because that's how people think. They just automatically think that when they go to Google. And it helps you to be found when, they put in things that they automatically think. But you're good. Your site looks nice.
Oh, thank you. And if you don't mind me asking, do you have different content in different addresses, or is it good to have multiple sites?
I just do so much stuff. One guy's like, you need more than one site. So I have different sites for different things. So you don't have to, but as you grow, you may want more than one. I have a photography website. I have a social media site. And one lady told me, she goes, you need to buy MarshaHudsonMedia.com. It was years ago. I was like, okay, I just bought it. But now I use it for my shop for things that I sell. So yeah, you can buy the names up because they just $18 for the year because you never know what you want to do or expand as you go down the road. And you don't want so much stuff on the website because people only spend a few seconds or minutes there and they don't see everything.
Nice. Okay.
So yeah, you can I can tell you a little bit more about the site. I'm gonna give a webinar on the website, but you can feel free to call me or email me because I like your site, but you want to have more images on the homepage and not so much text because people scroll and then they just go away, but they kind of stay around for images. You can put an image and some text, an image and some text, and then you can put I love your testimonials. That's nice. So just different things you can do to increase SEO on your website.
Great. Yeah, I'm very new to WordPress. I had it on Square and it was very limiting, and I just transferred it. I'm learning about it. It's yeah, I'll get there eventually.
You will. It looks good. You will. It's just a learning thing, but feel free to email me and I can give you some more information.
Great.
On, getting your website, up and going.
Very good. Are y'all about ready to get started? How you feeling, Marsha?
Feeling good. I'm sitting up already doing the training with Isabel.
I saw that, and that's why we're so happy to have you today, and every day that you choose to spend with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Well, it is indeed 10 o'clock, and I would like to start on time to keep everybody, as the stragglers come in, that may be a little bit late, but I want to keep everybody on the schedule, especially you, since you have more to do this afternoon. My name is Brett Augustine. I'm a recovery business advisor for North Central Texas Small Business Development Centers. Excuse me, I currently have a frog in my throat. We are a leading provider of assistance for small businesses, and we're grant funded, which allows us to offer webinars and services at no cost to you. If you have any questions today, please put them in the chat room, in the chat box there, and we'll be happy to take them. And at the end, or whenever Marsha decides she wants to see if there's any questions, we'll be happy to jump in and try to answer those questions as they come up. Speaking of Marsha, I'd like to introduce her really quickly to you. Marsha Hudson's a social media and branding specialist working with the Houston chapter of SBDC since 2015, teaching social media and digital marketing. She's also a professor of English at Wharton County Junior College in Sugar Land. She received her education specialist degree from Walden University and attended Sam Houston State University and the University of Houston. She's also a professional photographer with her husband, specializing in branding, headshots, lifestyle, and real estate photography. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Marsha Hudson today, talking about 8 tips for blogging success.
Thank you so much, Brett. As usual, I'm always so excited to be presenting the trainings for your group. And we have so much information today on tips on blogging. I really like blogging. You know, I am, as Brett said, I am a writing professor. So I write quite a bit, I read quite a bit, and I just love blogging. And so I have some great information to share with you guys today. 8 tips to getting started for your blogging success. So as always, we want to always give a special thanks to the North Central Texas Small Business Development Center for having me. I always like to thank them for having me to help you guys with your training and for also offering these webinars and trainings. And of course, they offer others also. So be sure to stick around to the end because they're going to let you know about some other trainings that are coming up by some other great presenters. So as always, we'd like to thank them so much for helping us build and brand and grow our businesses. And so I always like to share with people, what if you took one idea from this training and that one idea grew your business online? Because I love giving webinars and I love to watch them also because learning is key to growth. And so if you take one idea from this training, what if you decided, wow, this one idea can really change my business? But you're going to get way more than one ideas. But big ideas have small beginnings, and we can have lots of ideas and start small. Sometimes people say, well, Marsha, I don't have I have a lot of ideas, but I don't have an audience, or I have a lot of big ideas, but I don't know where to start, or I have a lot of big ideas and I don't have any followers. Well, big ideas can have small beginnings, and we all have to start somewhere, and those small beginnings can lead to big opportunity. So what are you going to learn today? So much good information. You're going to learn the purpose of blogging because we want to always know why we're doing something, not just to be doing it, to be doing it. Is it going to be good for our businesses? Because you're very busy. And if you add something, you want to make sure you have a good purpose for it. How to develop a plan for blogging, choosing a theme, deciding on the type of blog that's good for you, and how to write good content. Also, we're going to be learning in our 8 tips how to write good titles for blogs, how to post it to your website, how to develop a schedule, because I know we're so busy wearing so many hats, but we need a schedule to get our blogs in. And wait, I do have a little bonus at the end, how to make money, in case you are interested. How can I make a little money with my blog? So you might decide, I'm going to start blogging, and now how do I make a little money? So I have a little bonus at the end for that. So be sure and get ready because we are going to begin. Stay to the end because we're going to have a Q&A where you can ask me questions. I love Q&A. So grab a pen and paper. Hopefully you turn your screenshots off. You have your copy. I mean, you can take screenshots if you like. Turn off your distractions, your phones, all of that. And let's get ready for some great information. So who am I? I am Marsha Hudson, and as the presenter introduced me, I do wear quite a bit of hats, but I've learned how to balance them so that I'm helping my clients, like you guys are giving trainings. I'm helping business owners brand and grow their business. I'm doing my photography, and I'm also running my own business as a YouTuber, a blogger, and a podcast. And I also make time to try to take a break also. So we're going to talk about how to have so many hats and have a balance. So my mission is I help entrepreneurs develop an action plan and a strategy to build their brand online without being overwhelmed and confused, because nobody likes to be overwhelmed and confused. And blogging is a great way to build a brand online, along with social media, email marketing, podcasting. All of those are ways to grow your business, build your brand online, which is something we have to do. It's not an option anymore. Social media and having a presence online creates loyalty, and we're going to talk about that. And that's where we find that people will purchase from us. So what is a blog? And people ask me, well, Marsha, what is a blog? And so it's like a marketing channel, if I can kind of put it in those words. Sometimes it's a website. Some people use a website as a blog. It's like social media. It's like direct mail. It's like email marketing. It's all of these things it's like all of these things that support business growth. And a blog is content driven. So we are going to talk about writing content for it, because people were like, well, Marsha, you're a writer. What if I'm not a writer? Even if you're not a writer, you can still have a blog. And I'm going to show you that today in the training. And the good thing about a blog is it drives traffic to your website. And I told a group of people on another webinar, I said, social media, I like it, but likes and comments are great, but that doesn't bring the money to the bank. The website is what causes people to purchase from you. So we can use a blog to drive traffic to our website and have lots of opportunities for that traffic when they get to the website to convert in some way. Your website is the biggest marketing tool. Social media is great, blogging is great, podcasting is great, but people, when they get to that website, that's where they make decisions based on what's on your website. So activity time. Yes, I'm a teacher. So if you're going to go along with me, I like for you to be active and write a few things down. Think about a few things. So what challenges do you face with blogging? So when we were meeting face to face, I would always have these little activity times in there, and I'd ask my audience, what challenges do you face with blogging? And these are the things that people said. And some people would tell me, I don't understand blogging. I don't have time. Okay. And we're going to talk about all of these things. I don't know how it would boost my business, or I'm not a writer, or a little bit of all of the above. So you're out there in the internet land. So think about one of these. Is it A for you, or B, C, D, E, all of those? Well, we're going to talk about all of these things today, because what I find for me, when I don't start something, it's one of these. It's either I don't understand it. I want to know, if I add this, is it going to help with my business? Because I'm already busy. So it's some of these things when I find that I don't start something. So tip number one, you want to decide on your purpose. So when I started blogging a few years ago, I had to think about, okay, what do I want to do with my blog? If it's going to grow my business, what do I want my blog to do? What's the purpose of me starting it and getting a blog? Well, to educate, you may give information, add value, and to show people that you are an industry leader. And so your purpose should include all of the above, because when you blog and you put a post up and you're teaching somebody something from your industry, or you're informing them of a trend or a change, or you're adding value to their lives, helping them solve their problems or end their challenges, and you are showing that you're an industry leader, these are the type of people that purchase from us when we see these things happening. So you want to decide on your purpose. Now, you may decide, well, I just want to do one of those. I want to be an industry leader. So your blogs need to reflect that. Or you may say, I just want to add value. So your blogs may reflect that. But think about your purpose, because we always need a purpose before starting something, because we don't want to add things to our busy plate that we feel are not going to help us with growth. So here are some goals for a small business blog. The biggest thing is to build a customer list. And I have to do a side note here, Pinterest. Pinterest, if you're using Pinterest, or you're thinking about Pinterest, or you go to YouTube and learn a little about Pinterest, Pinterest loves blogs and will drive business to your website. So there's so many benefits, which we're going to look at in a minute, to blogging. You can create a content library that makes your company an industry leader. Whereas and we're going to talk about that later, with a content library, you may have 4 titles or themes in your little content library. And I just say keep that in folders on your computer. And each week you put that out to show you as a company industry leader. Another goal is we want better rankings on Google. When we post fresh information on our online, like a blog, Google picks it up. And so it helps us to be found because Google loves fresh content. Another goal is to be a person who gives valuable information that help others. And so now you're becoming this person who people like and know and trust, and you know the know, like, and trust factor. And then you want to give information to audiences that will eventually convert them to clients. And so I put that last because we have to do all of those other things first to get potential people to become clients. There is a funnel that I've been researching, a 4-step funnel that gets people from the beginning, from seeing us as an industry leader, from seeing our great content, from getting valuable information to becoming a client. So why should you blog? B2B, business to business marketers are using blogs, and they receive 67, research shows that they receive 67 more leads than those who do not. By 2022, customers will manage, get this, 85% of their relationships without talking to humans. And wow, when I was reading these statistics and I thought, that's pretty much true. We go in the store now and rarely do you even see people who are at the registers helping you. You have to use those machines where you're almost the person working at the store. And you see that quite a bit in the ATM machines and so many online businesses. And so, wow. So if that's the case, we have to get to the place where we have such a great online presence through blogging or our website or email to reach these people. And companies who blog receive 97% more visits to their website. I can't stress that enough. A blog will drive traffic to your website, and the website is your most valuable marketing tool. That is where people make decisions and take actions to purchase from you. Not so much social media. Social media is a tool to drive people there and to create awareness, just as blogging is. So here are some benefits. I'm hoping I'm starting you off with all of this information on why you should blog, It helps you to drive traffic to your website. It helps to convert leads, traffic into leads. It helps establish or create credibility. It inspires you and others, and it helps build a nice brand for you online. And Google loves blogs. The more and it's so Google loves blogs so much. If you're blogging consistently, when people go to Google and just type in your company, your blog will show up. And so blogging helps with your SEO. Blogs do fuel your search engine optimization. So when people go to search, they can find you easily. According to HubSpot, and I really like HubSpot, it gives a lot of statistics and research. 60% of businesses who blog get more customers. It gives your company a voice. It's the heart of your marketing efforts, and blogging builds customer relationships. Isn't that how we actually really do business here where in our culture? Because we want to do business with people. People do business with people, not so much businesses. Now, we have businesses, but there are people who run those businesses. And can you imagine the relationships that you've made with the people who you hire for your business? Maybe they come to your home to do things, maybe they service things. These are people you have made relationships with, and so you purchase from them. So blogging builds customer relationships. So if you're ready to grow, to blog means to share and connect and create and to inspire people. So sometimes people will say, well, what are those terms? All of those terms. I don't understand those terms with blogging. So I wanted to give you a few terms, and feel free to take screenshots with your phone. Now, a permalink, that's the URL that people are going to type in to find your actual blog. So when you're thinking of a name for your blog, try to make it as simple and easy as possible for people to type into Google and remember and to find you, because that URL is very important, and you don't want it to be catchy or spell the words wrong. You want to spell the words right, and just anything easy that people, if maybe they met you and then a week later like, oh yeah, I met that person, I want to check out their blog. So they're going to go to Google and they're going to type in keyword. And let's say they lost your business card, but if you made your URL easy, Google will help them find it. Like me, all you got to put in is Marsha Lynn Hudson. No misspelling, no crazy spellings, no catchy things, just very easy. So that's your permalink. Your platform refers to what software you're going to use. Maybe you're going to use WordPress or Blogger. And now there's so many others. You have Wix, and you have Square, and you have, I think, Shopify. You have lots of platforms that you can build your blog on. I love WordPress because it's easy, it's simple, and it has so many features. But you do have other platforms. Your SEO, like I talked about, is your search engine optimization. That's how your blog is ranked when someone searches for it. So let's say you are in the beauty industry. So your blog would probably be your name, and you can put beauty with it. It could be Candy Smith Beauty Blog. It's great for SEO. It's great for search engine optimization. So let's say you're in the industry where you are maybe a designer. And so you might want to put in your blog, you may put your name, and you may put designs, beautiful things, or something like that. But what I'm trying to say is, in the name, you want to try to make it where when people go to Google to search, it pops up. So your theme is your layout, and we're going to look at this, the face of your blog and your appearance. And then you can even have a hosting company if you really want to take your blog to another level, start making money. HostGator, Bluehost, they're all hosting companies, which you can still use WordPress with these companies, but it gives you more features if you really want to take your blog to a next level. So you want to think of a purpose. So number 2, the second tip is just do it. Plan to start, plan a start date. And so I work with people quite a bit, and sometimes months have gone by and they hadn't started. And my thing is, you just have to take a few days and get started if it's something you want to do. Look into blogging, getting started with blogging, because it really isn't difficult in this day and age. And it doesn't have to be long and drawn out. It just needs to be valuable. So my tip is, don't keep putting it off. I can't believe how we're halfway through the year. Don't keep putting it off, because time goes fast. So the time is now. You might say, I think I want to start blogging for the next month. And the next month is right around the corner. So that may be a good plan for you. You don't want to wait a long time to start blog. So no more putting it off, right? Make today the day that you start looking up some things on a blog, taking some information from this training, looking at a YouTube video. So even if you're thinking about it, or you've been thinking about it, I always tell people, don't take longer than 48 hours to get going, because you look up and months have gone. So here are 5 steps that I use to start a blog. I like to keep things simple. I like to keep them where you're not confused and overwhelmed. That's one of my missions. I study all of the time. How can I teach something where people are not confused and overwhelmed? So here are 5 steps that I used a long time ago when I started my first blog. I have a few. So you want to choose a hosting company, whether you're going to do WordPress or Wix, or HostGator, or Bluehost, or a landing page like Shopify. And there's so many, and you can Google hosting companies for a blog. And then you want to choose a plan. And we're going to look at all of these in a minute. You want to choose a plan. And so if you have a hosting company or a landing page, all of them cost, so you can choose a plan. And then you want to choose, when am I going to blog? How often am I going to blog? I'm going to talk about that. And you want to choose a domain name, like we talked about. I have one called MarshaLynnHudsonblog.com. How simple is that? And so you don't have to put blog in the name, but you can. It's all about the search. So choose a good domain name that's easy and that's associated with your blog type. And then you can install WordPress. You can go to wordpress.com and it will guide you through starting a blog. It's just that easy. You can even start free with one click on WordPress. Now, when you use the free version, you're not going to have as many features, but at least you can get started, and then you can, that can evolve into a larger blog. And then you choose a theme and you are ready for your first blog. It's just that simple. So here are pictures of how your blog might look on a tablet, a computer, and a mobile phone. So just like you see these links here, home, things like that, contact us, you don't have to have all of that for your blog. You can have one link or you can have two links for your blog. So there's so many things that you can do, and you'll see if you decide to go to WordPress.com and learn about a blog. WordPress.org, you pay a little bit, but you don't have to use WordPress.org. So tip 3, choosing themes. So this is one reason why I really like WordPress. There's so many free themes, and there are things that you can purchase also, but I never purchase them. There's so many good ones that are free, and it's just a variety to choose from. So here's an example or a visual of themes on WordPress, and you can get your blog started. I really like blogging. You can get your blog started with one of these themes, and you can change the theme. And so when you go into WordPress, it's going to offer you themes, and you can pick a theme. Or you can pick colors, you can pick the font, you can pick the theme of how you want your blog to look. It can have one button, 2 buttons, a contact, whatever. But that's one reason I really like WordPress, because it guides you through it in an easy manner. So this is just an example of a few themes that will come up when you go to look for a theme. And like I say, you don't have to really overthink it. Pick a theme, you can switch it later. Okay, and so here are some other examples of a theme. And here's an easy blog, a clean blog. You might upload a picture, you may just start your blogs. There's so many different things. It just depends on whether you want to start in a simple manner or do a little bit more with your blog. And so you will find all of these on WordPress. You can also go to GoDaddy, and you can also sign up there because you can get a blog. You can use WordPress through GoDaddy. So there's so many. So here are some sample blogs. So you might think, okay, I'm thinking about maybe blogging. Well, then what kind of blog should I start? So let's look at a few sample blogs. Now here's a consulting blog. So usually I have one of these. Usually these are run by one person. Okay, and they give advice, opinions on certain topics. I research my topics first, and then I put it up as a blog. So this is a good way to get an online community going on a topic that interests you. For instance, for me, one of my blogs as a consultant, I have a social media blog. Okay, now the type of blogs I put up there deal with giving advice, opinions on social media. Okay, so I may have a blog that says how to use Instagram and grow your business. All right, and so I'm doing a type of consulting blog where I'm giving advice and tips and opinions based on the research, not just opinions from my head. And then I write a blog on it. Or I may have a blog on how to use Facebook ads, or how to grow your followers and turn lookers into bookers. And so I have this topic on my blog that deals with social media, branding, and business, and things that business owners who are maybe a solopreneur, whatever, a side hustler, someone who's only, you're by yourself, you don't have much help. So you may think, okay, I could do this kind of blog, and because I'm a one-man show or maybe two-man show. So here's an example, how to generate more leads and customers using social media, videos for free, ebooks. And so I've been blogging for some years, and I found this a long time ago. And I'm like, let me put this in the training to show people how blogs have been around a while and they've evolved and they really help grow your business. And so this is an example of a blog, and you could do a how-to from your industry and just put some always put an image, very, very important. Always put an image and put some content, because what are you doing? You're growing your business. You're just doing so many things. I told you about all of the 10 benefits from blogging. So let's say you wanted to think about a specialty blog. Now this is usually written by 2 or more people, okay, with a common interest. So let's say you have a team of 2. And let's say I had a team of 2 doing blogs, which would be wonderful. And I might do blogs on my common interest, which would be social media and branding. But my partner may also put blogs on our blog that deals with marketing, and digital tips or tools, you see? So then we both can work on and have a specialty blog where it's marketing, branding, social media, you see, things like that. So this type of blog can include things like weight loss or how to stay healthy or golf topics or even more. So the possibilities are endless, especially if you have a team of 2. You can sit down and think, okay, let's think about doing a specialty blog, and I'll post on these topics and you post on these topics, but we're specializing in on a certain topic. Here's an example of a specialty blog. And so basically this blog deals with fashion. And so one person may be doing fashion for women. One person may be doing fashion for men. See, so this is an example of that type of blog. How to make a latte art at home. So this type of blog could be specialty where one person can be talking about the coffees, and then another person can be talking about the different origins and things that deal with coffee. So a specialty blog is great. People love them because you really position yourself as an industry leader. And like I say, it doesn't have to be long. It needs to be valuable. And so you always want to, you can put an image up with a blog now, a video up with a blog. And as you see, this blog has been around for some years. And this is a Starbucks blog. I really like following Starbucks blog. And I really want to show you how blogs have been around for years and they're just continuing to blossom. So an industry blog. So you might think, okay, well, maybe we don't want to do specialty. We want to do an industry blog. And so this focuses on more of an industry, like maybe you are a small company and you sell products to other businesses. So this usually consists of topics like trade shows and new lines of products and materials. So this takes a lot of research. That's why it's usually an industry blog is a group of people in industry, because you want to know, you need to know a lot of information for this type of blog. These are industry blogs. And these are industries like social media marketing world. It's a blog that I follow, and it's an industry, and they have all of these different topics, but they have a lot of people in this industry. And so in the social media marketing world blog, sometimes they may blog about content. Sometimes they may blog about email marketing. They have products and services to sell. Sometimes they may blog about LinkedIn, just different things from their industry. So you may think, well, we have a pretty good industry, so we may have an industry blog where we can put ideas up and content up about a lot of different things. And so here's another example of what an industry blog would do. So it takes a lot of research, it takes a lot of work, but it gives huge benefits. 6 reasons every small business should be blogging. And so when you blog as a business, an industry, a specialty blog, you will be amazed at how much blogging will do for you with Google, with social media, with everything. It just does so much. So here's another activity if you're with me with the activity. So what type of blog could you add to your business after looking at these? Maybe you could add a consulting blog or a specialty or an industry blog, or you might not be sure yet. And hopefully by the time we get to the end of the training, you have an idea of what kind of blog you can add to your business. So tip number 4, so you want to decide on a blog type, okay? So what do? You choose a subject for your blog. You might say, okay, my blog is going to be on writing, or my blog is going to be on designing, or my blog is going to be on real estate tips, or my blog is going to be on fashion or things from my industry. So you want to decide on a subject for your blog and what would be your niche, okay, which is something that you are passionate about. And I always say we tend to stick to things when we're passionate about it. So I love photography and video, and we do quite a bit of that with our business. So if I wanted to have a photography, I do have a photography blog where I talk about photography and video and how to do drone. We love that. We're passionate about it. So it's easy for us to stick to that type of blog because that's our niche. That's what we know about. So you want to pick something that you know about and that you're passionate about. Topics that you're educated on. And of course, you're going to do research, a little research, read some articles, but you kind of have an idea of these topics anyway. Okay, so you have to think about what are you passionate about. I'm a firm believer in writing things down. I have so many journals, writing things down. So list at least 3 of your passions. Okay, so this exercise will help you to know what you should be blogging about. Just list 3 of your passions. For me, 1 is social media and branding. 2 is photography and video. And believe it or not, 3, I love health and fitness and exercise. I love that. If I didn't do social media photography, I'd probably have a health and wellness blog. I love that. But I read a lot. I follow nutritionists. I love health and wellness. So think of 3 things that you're passionate about. Okay. What are you educated on? This is how you figure out, oh, okay, this is the blog we should have. Think about your business, your company, who works with you. What are you guys good at? What are you guys good at helping people with? What kind of information could you give people? What could you teach people? That's the blog for you. Okay, so tip number 5, how do we deliver good content? So, okay, Marsha, you've talked about why a blog is important. What are the benefits for us? You know, how to get started. You've shown us some samples, different kinds of blog. What about the writing part, delivering good content? The thing about it is, and I say it so much, it doesn't need to be long. It just needs to be valuable. Now, some blogs that I follow, they are long. Sometimes I get a short blog. I just want value from it. And I'm going to give you ideas of places to get blogs. So you think of when it comes to delivering good content, you want to make sure the content is valuable. I always say put an image with your content. You want to give information, or you can give tips, or you can answer a question. It's always about them. It's never about us. It's always about how can I help my audience? How can I help whoever is reading this? How can they be helped? Whether it's in their business, in their own lives, how can they be helped in some kind of way? And that's when you know you're giving great content. Okay. Here's why you haven't achieved your goals yet. Sometimes we want content to help us think, why am I not moving forward? Why am I not building a business on social media? Any kind of content where you can help people solve their problems and their challenges, that's a good piece of content. And it doesn't have to be long. Like I said, it just needs to give value. So here's a place where you can get blog ideas. So HubSpot, and you can take a screenshot. You can go and type in. This is a good place, and there are other idea generators. So you can type in noun 1. For me, I might type in social media. Noun 2, I might type in branding, and noun 3, I might type in online. And then when I click, it will give me lots of ideas for blog content. So the HubSpot blog ideas generator is good. There are others that you can Google and look for blog idea generators. This one's free, and it gives you lots of ideas for blog posts. Okay, so where else can you get inspiration for content? I spend a lot of time reading magazines, books. I may be at Barnes and Noble. I get the Success magazine. I actually have what I call thinking time, where I actually spend time each week thinking. And it may be from reading, getting ideas. Oh, this is a great idea for a blog. This is a great idea for a social media post. And I get it from reading magazines or books and conversations with friends. I can be talking and thinking, wow, that's a great idea for me to blog on. Social media sites. You may get ideas from something you saw on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. And you might think that's a great idea for a blog topic. We have to literally do intentional thinking. And when we do intentional thinking, we do get ideas with a pen and paper in hand. We get ideas because sometimes it's so hard to be creative and come up with ideas. So we have to have these places that we go to find ideas, like these examples here. Television. I can be watching television or listening to a podcast and get an idea for a blog or an idea for a social media post. It works. Conferences that you may attend, virtual conferences, workshops, client questions are huge for getting ideas, especially in groups like Facebook groups and things like that. And like people say, Marsha, I'm not a writer. How can I be a blogger? And that question right there had me look up some information, put that information to let people know you don't need to be a writer to be a blogger. And then some people might say, well, I just don't want to blog. Well, it's like, well, hire someone. You can go to Fiverr and find someone to blog for you, maybe once a month or twice a month. It's not very expensive. You may pay them $20, $25 to do some blogs for you. You give them the information, they do the research and send it to you. So you can easily have ideas. And if you just don't want to do it, hire somebody. Other blogs and email newsletters. I save emails. We get so many emails and I save emails. And on the weekend, when I have a little spare time, I'll go through them and look for ideas for the upcoming week. That is a great practice. And I know you probably get a lot of emails too. And so I go through my emails and even look for ideas for my social media posts. I was like, wow, when I'm reading the email, here's a great idea for me for next week, the upcoming week, because I do a lot of planning on the weekend for the upcoming week. Networking. Now we're back out getting ready to network, and we're networking online in LinkedIn. Great place to think of ideas. Write it down when it comes to you. If you have your phone, write it down on your phone. Everyday life. It's a great place to get ideas because think about the problems that people have. I have so many people saying, Marsha, I know I need to be on social media. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to add. Everyday life, great ideas for topics. And that's when I came up with a few years ago, 8 tips for blogging success. And I just tweaked it a little for now, and it's still great. And so because people were having these problems, how do I increase my SEO? How do I do that? We're blogging. I thought about blogging. Keep an idea journal, whether you write it down or put it on your phone, keep it. So you will never run out of ideas for content. And so now writing good titles. So when you decide, okay, I'm ready for my blog, I'm ready to get this going, you want to have good titles because that's what makes people click. So you want to be great at developing catchy titles. And I tell my students, I teach at the college, when they're writing papers for me, I say, I want you to come up with a catchy title. Don't name the title, the name of the story, because I teach literature. Come up with a catchy title. And I told them, look for titles, look at titles, movie titles. Look at how they come up with movie titles. Look at television show titles. Think about the titles. Look at book titles. titles are so important, and just be creative with a catchy title. And movies, television shows, books, all of them, they work hard to come up with a catchy title. And that's a good way to think about writing a good catchy title for your blog. I came up with a title from a question. People are like, I'm so busy, I don't have time to do this. And I came up with a title, How to Manage Your Online Presence in 30 Minutes. And I've had so many people download that. It's a free resource on my website, because people think, ooh, 30 minutes. Okay, I can do 30 minutes. And so titles are something that people want to be able to say, wow, okay, that's interesting. Let me click to find out a little bit more information. So always think about catchy titles. So here are some blog titles. How to and numbers work very well. You can take a picture with your cell phone and save those Q&A for me at the end. How to create video for social media. And these are great titles. How-tos are great titles. I did the research on it. And numbers. How to find good networking events. Okay, we're getting ready to start that back up, right? 8 tools for boosting your brand. Now, these are things from my niche. Okay, you have to think of things from your niche. 9 secrets to good email marketing. People want this kind of information. People think, okay, this is not a lot. Just 8, just 9, 3 morning routines to kick off your day. Oh, okay, just 3, because people are busy and they don't want 25 or 45 ways to do something. Oh my goodness, it's like, oh, I gotta read 25. So they may go there and scroll through it, but you can give some good, valuable content in a small amount of time for people's busy schedule, so that they will at least stop and read it. Yeah, so I do have a handout of resources on my site. So here's another question to think about. What still confuses you about blog? We've been in the session a little while. What still confuses you? Is it the terminology? How it will help your business? Because we talked about the terminology, SEO, permalinks. It's going to help your business in so many ways. The biggest way is to help you get found and drive traffic to your website. What types of business blog? Maybe you're still confused about whether you should do a consulting or industry or specialty. What goes into it? All you need is an image and a little good content. Or you might say, I'm pretty caught up now. That's pretty good if you're at that place right there. So how do you get the word out? So you're like, okay, I'm really ready to start blogging. I'm really ready to look into it, set it up, start adding it to our business mix. Email, okay, newsletter, let people know about your blog. You know, we started a new blog. We're so excited. Click the link here and head to our blog or whatever. Or send them to your website if you hook it to your website. Eventually, you know, after you've been blogging a while, you might want to be a guest blogger, and you can Google how to become a guest blogger, and somebody may pick you up. It's like, wow, I really like your blog. I'd love for you to be a guest blogger. Isn't that cool? Now, that's really cool. So maybe after you've been blogging a while, being a guest blogger will really help you to put the word out. Post it to your social media. You can even put it in your Instagram bio link, because you can change that link. And so you can go to your Instagram, change your bio link, put your blog link there. And when you post to Instagram, you can say, be sure and click the link in the bio to see our new blog. So, and then you can change your bio link back to your website if you like. So you can post your blog to your social media. You can put it in your Facebook, your LinkedIn. Be sure and check out our new blog. It's wonderful. I just get excited about all of the opportunities and the power of social media and blogging and podcasting and being online. I just get so excited about it, because it's just so much opportunity for us as business owners and as entrepreneurs and, you know, solopreneurs. But the biggest thing that I run into is people saying, how do I start, and how do I make the time? Those are the two biggest things. I write it down in my journals. How do I start and how do I make the time? And in my thinking time, in my Starbucks time, when I'm sitting there thinking, I love that time, reading, writing, I love my thinking time, or Barnes and Noble. In my thinking time, I'm always thinking, how can I help people get started and it's not confusing? How can I help them put it into their busy schedule? And my thing is, don't go more than 2 days without hopping on an idea, and take 30 minutes, 2 to 3 days a week. It works. You can put the URL, of course, on your business cards. You can put your blog. If you really want to get blogging and you just really want to get it out there, order some business cards from Vistaprint. They're very inexpensive. And put your blog URL on your business card. When you go out and about, give it out. Connect your blog to your website. Put a link there. It's just so much. Network. Tell people. Tell people about your blog. So there's so many ways to get the word out once you started your blog. So tip number 7, we're almost to the end. Post your blog to your social sites and website. A blog posted on your social site will lead traffic to your website. Now that is the truth. And I will tell you this, Pinterest will drive traffic to your website. People don't see it as a social site. It's part social and part search engine. Pinterest, remember that. I read that the other day. I was like, I want to share that. Pinterest is part social media and part search engine. And what I mean about that, and we're talking about driving to your website, Pinterest, you can put your blog on Pinterest. Oh my goodness, you will love this, and drive traffic to your website. But the good thing about it, the fact that it's part social media, because you can still connect with people on Pinterest, build relationships with people on Pinterest, because that's what social media is about. Get found on Pinterest, but it's a search engine like Google. People go there to look for stuff. So if you're blogging and you're putting information on Pinterest, people will find you and head to your website, because the links on Pinterest are clickable and you can send them anywhere. So it's, because it's part social and part search engine, it's a wonderful place if you have products, if you have a blog, for sure. And if you're trying to drive traffic to your website. I like Brian Tracy. I follow him. I really like what he teaches. And he has a great blog where he gives so much information for business owners to achieve their goals and do things. And here is a sample of his website. And at the top, he has a link that says blog. And when you click it, it goes to his blog. And then he has a link that says shop. And when you click it, you can go to his products. I purchased products when I first came across Brian Tracy. I'd never heard of it. I'm always online, reading, searching. And that's the thing about search engine. And I was just typing in business, starting business, achieving my goal. I was just typing those things in like people do. How do I start my business? How do I achieve my goal? And Brian Tracy popped up. And this is the truth. This was some years ago. He popped up. And I was like, oh, okay, who is this? And so I started looking at his website. He had a lot of information on his site. Information on how to achieve your goals, how to be a leader, how to be successful. So I kept going back to that site because of the good information. Okay. Not to buy something. Because of the good information, I kept going back to site, And then sometimes I would see, of course, I downloaded a freebie, a lead magnet, and they got my email. That's how it worked. And then they started emailing me. And then the email would come, do you want to achieve your goals? I'm going to click that. Yes. And then here's some great information. Then another email would come, how to achieve your goals, or how to have a plan of action. So I kept following it. And just think, if they hadn't been consistent with showing up in my inbox, I would have forgotten about it. So eventually I started buying products. That's how it works. First thing I got was a lot of information. I didn't know him or trust him, but it was so good, the information. So it took me from seeing the emails, reading his blogs, maybe 3 months before I bought the first book from Brian Tracy. That's the funnel. I had to get to know them. I had to like their information. And they were consistent. And still today, you can type it in Google. And I bought the first book. I think the first product I spent $20 because everybody on your email list is worth at least $15. They are. That's why email marketing is your best friend. That's one of your best friends. And then the second product I bought from him, I think it was a $47 video series. And then I started going into Barnes and Noble and I saw his books, and Barnes and Noble had a little discount and I bought a book. That's how it worked. Now I have so many books from Brian Tracy, video series. And then I bought a program from him. It was an online program in the pandemic and I paid $97. Look how I became a client. But it took 3 months of me following this person that I just happened up on. But because he was delivering such valuable information that appealed to what I wanted, business goals, achieving goals, having a plan, I kept reading, kept following, and then eventually purchased. That's how it works. It will work the same for you too. Here's a Starbucks. As you see, here's one of their website, and you see blog on your site. So you can add blog to your website. People click it and go there. All right. So how do you get subscribers to your blog? Now that takes time and consistency, but you can do it with a lead magnet. And I talk about a lead magnet quite a bit. I also have that, something like that, a free resource on my site. So a lead magnet can be a toolkit or an ebook or an e-course or a checklist or something small that you give away on your site, a PDF, and in return you get people's emails from it. So a lead magnet, that's how they got me. When I went to Brian Tracy's site, they had a free download, and it was something about how to achieve your goals or how to set a plan. So I wanted the free download, and I gave them my email. And because they would email me, that's how they actually kept me on top of mine, and I purchased something. So here's a sample lead magnet. You can make a lead magnet in Canva, Canva. I talk about it a lot. So if you've heard me on webinars before, I talk about tools that I use, and you can make a lead magnet on Canva for free. Here's another lead magnet. I have a free workbook, lead magnet on my site. So these are different ways that you can use a lead magnet. Okay, you can put it on your sidebar, you can put it in your footer, you can use it, you can put it on several pages on your blog, but you can make it, it's a small download that people want, and they give you their emails for free. So we got to the last tip, number 8. So now you got to develop a posting schedule. So you've been through the training, and you've been in the training with me for a while. And so you're thinking, okay, I'm ready to start blogging. Then you want to develop a posting schedule, maybe on the weekend, maybe for the upcoming week, or maybe for the month. And you sit down, you get a calendar, you decide, this is what I'm going to write. This is when I'm going to put my blog out. This is what time I'm going to do it. This is what I'm going to talk about. These are my things. Get a posting schedule. Maybe you only have time to do 2 times a month. And so you're like, okay, I'm making this schedule. So I still need content ideas. So here's some more ideas. Be sure and take a screenshot. Check out other blogs in your industry. Okay. What are they writing about? Check out your email inbox. Okay. What questions are your customers, your clients asking you the most? Curate content. Curate means to use content that you've gotten and share that information. You can change things around. It's not plagiarism, but curate content for your blog. So consistency is a key to my success. And I'm not just saying me, but I read this, and the person who wrote this says consistency is a key to my success. And I thought about that, and I said, I want to include that because I want everybody who's listening in the training to actually say that for yourself. So my is in it. Consistency is a key to my success. Or you can even put your name in the place of mine, because that really is what will help us to grow. And it's whether it's blogging or social media or email or podcast, we have to be consistent. Consistency is for anything. If we consistently save money over the years, we have good savings. If we consistently work on our health and being healthy, consistency really is the key for everything. And put your name in it. And you don't have to do this every single day. You just need to spend a few days to be consistent. So here's a bonus I told you about. So what if you start blogging and in 2-3 months down the road, you're really gotten into blogging? It's like, okay, I want to make a little bit of money. This is how you can make a little bit of money with your blog. Write an ebook. It can be 5 pages. Write an ebook. Your blogs can be an ebook. Just take your blogs and make an ebook. Make it as a PDF. Sell it for $10, $9.95. Boom. Start making money. What if 100 people bought it? What if 50 people bought it? Write an ebook. Your blogs, if you blog for 2 months or 3 months, you have enough blogs for an ebook. Use affiliate marketing. Look up affiliate marketing on Amazon. It's great to do affiliate marketing. Be a guest blogger. Sometimes you can be a guest blogger, talk about your products, sell your own products on your blog. Maybe you make a video series. I talked about that another week here. You might I bought a video series from Brian Tracy. It was $97 and it was like 8 short videos. It was wonderful. It was worth every penny. And you might I bought short videos that were $47. I bought a 4-part short video, $47 on Facebook ads. And each little video was like 6 minutes. It was worth every penny of the $47. And I'm just one person. Develop an e-course. So you can actually make money with your blog, and it doesn't take a lot. So how can you manage it? You can manage your blog and manage your business and still have a life. I always say pick a day for blogging or working on your blog. Sundays are good, or Saturday if you're not too busy. You got to have a day to work on it. Develop your content calendar. You can even use an auto scheduler, okay? If you can't blog once a week, do twice a month. You have to stay on top of mind. You have to stay on top of mind. Twice a month is doable because it only takes 20-30 minutes to develop a blog. If you pick a Sunday evening or you pick a content calendar, be consistent and stick to it, even if it's just 2 times a month. Yay, you made it to the end. I hope you have some great questions for me. So I want to thank you guys for joining me today. And like I said, you can get free resources on blogging and my free strategy workbook at my website. So I know I had a lot to give you in a small amount of time, but you can always go to YouTube and learn so much more about blogging and getting started. I really like blogging, and you will see a blog on my website, marshallyandhudson.com, because it really helps your business. So I hope that you will connect with me. I hope we can connect on my social sites. All I do is give a lot of tips and tools and strategies to help you build and brand and grow your business. So I am so excited. I hope you guys have questions, and we are ready for Q&A, Brett, if you are ready.
Thank you, Marsha. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, every time you come on, you bring such great energy to it. And yes, there's a lot of people commenting and things, and I want to share with you everything that we had. Just to remind everybody, Marsha is one of the people that keeps coming back because of this great quality information she gets, and all of us need it. You know, you said take away at least one thing, right?
Right.
Well, guess what? I decided I can apply one of the things you said even to my golf game, which is consistency is the key. Because it's so real. If you keep doing it, and then it will get better, you know, and
So
being consistent. True. So just a couple of things. One of our participants today has a question. It's really a comment, and the question is this: I have so many interests and passions. How do I filter through the type of what I want to blog about? Oh my gosh, because like so many people in this generation, actually every generation, we have so many concepts, so many ideas that we're interested in. How do you narrow it down to something to blog about?
Oh my goodness, I know. I had that same problem when I started blogging. That is a great question. I know. I don't know. No, I do know. Well, I tell people, because I'm that way too. I love ideas. I love learning. I have so many ideas. If you're going to do a blog and you're one person, you have to pick one of those ideas. You just can't be everywhere. But if you have more than one, you could probably do more than one concept. For instance, on my social media blog, okay, my blogs deal with social media tips and business tips, okay? But on my photography blog, which I don't blog too much there anymore, but on my photography blog, it deals with how to prepare for your photo. It deals with lighting. It deals with times of day. So I couldn't put both of those, and though I'm passionate about both of those, I couldn't put both of those on my blog. So you're going to have to, like we talked about, write down the top 3 that you love. The top 3 of your ideas. And then now, if you have to do more than one, you may have to have a different blog. Make that blog. And if the top 2 are similar, you can at least use those 2. Now, for the person who asked that question, can they tell me 2 or 3 ideas that they're thinking about? And then I can tell you what kind of blog to start. Is that person still here? If they can tell me 2 or 3 of their ideas, I can tell. So, you might say, well, I want to do this type of blog or that type of blog. You need to niche down to 1 or 2, and they need to be similar. Now, if you have something totally different, you need a different blog. It's nothing wrong with having more than one blog. Okay, she said, the person said health and wellness.
Sorry, yeah, you got it. Okay,
the person said health and well, that's great. You can have a blog. Yours would be more of a specialty. You can talk about health. Sometimes you can talk about wellness. You can talk about things surrounding around it. But one good thing to do is go and Google health and wellness blogs and see what they're doing on their blog. So you can do health and wellness and make it, it could be called a specialty blog. So on that blog, you're going to talk about, because there's so many things you can talk about with health, so many things you can talk about with wellness. That's a specialty blog, the health and wellness blog. And if you go and Google health and wellness blog and see what they're putting, that may give you an idea. So let's say you have something different from health and wellness and it's not related, then you may need a different blog, because you don't want to blog with a lot of different stuff. Then people are confused. They don't know what to expect. But health and wellness can go well on one blog.
Okay, another question which is kind of similar. I want to keep on that kind of questioning that's going on right now and get somebody else's question in as well. They said, can we basically show our interests beyond our business, such as beauty, marriage, HR, religion? Can you blog about them all, and should you, or do you stick to your business?
Okay, that's a great question. It just depends on what kind of blog it is, and your audience. If your blog, for instance, the health and wellness person, you could probably venture off into maybe making a blog about health and marriage, because for a marriage to be healthy, I would think it's associated with health and wellness of the 2 people. So you could probably venture off into that, but you don't want to go too many topics that are away from it, because then people get confused, and especially if that's not what your audience signed up for. So you have to make sure that your blog sticks to what your audience signed up for. And like I say, you could go into other topics if you relate them to health and wealth. For instance, I teach a lot on social media and branding, but I've branched off into the topic of entrepreneurship, creativity as an entrepreneur, being motivated as an entrepreneur, because that to me seems to fit the social media, because I work with entrepreneurs. So I might blog about how to stay motivated as an entrepreneur. Okay. That's not far away from social media and branding. So it has to be close.
So Marsha, would it be safe to say, what in answer to that question, just summing it up a little bit more, is basically, as long as you're staying and creating a connection to what it is that you do in some form or fashion, would that be safe to say?
Yes, you summed it up right. As long as you're staying connected to the topic. I don't want to open a blog and it's like, well, where did this come from? This is not, it's like all of a sudden, how to travel to Europe. Excuse me?
Right.
Alrighty. Where did
Okay.
that come from? So you see, so
Yeah.
it's like a lady has a travel and beauty blog. She connected travel with beauty as to what to wear, what to buy if you're traveling. You see, how to protect your skin as you travel. So she connected it.
That's great.
I cannot figure out how to raise my hand. I've been trying to figure it out and I can't. I have a question.
Go ahead.
Oh, just raise it. Okay, so earlier you mentioned having more than one blog. And because I'm definitely passionate about leadership, I'm passionate about religion, I'm passionate about marriage, I'm passionate, of course, about my business. And so the answer to that, and of course, I can't weigh myself down with all of that, but because I'm so passionate about it, I just don't even see it as a burden. My hesitancy has been not just seeming like I'm crazy and I'm all over the place.
I do know Miss Tyndale. She is a leadership guru and she has too many ideas, and I have been trying to work with her, but she is wonderful. And what I tell her, she has a lot of great ideas, and she's kind of like me. In the beginning, years ago, a guy told me, Marsha, you have too much. You have too many ideas. You're going to have to separate them. So I had to separate my websites. I had everything on one website. He says too much. So I would say, like I always tell her, because I do like working with her, you have to you have to pick your top two. I know she's heard me say this. You have to pick your top 2 or 3. You might say, "Oh my God, I'm passionate." You have to pick. Now, if you don't want to pick, you have to have a little team of 2 or 3, and then you can do all of these different things. But you can't put everything in one place, because then I use the thing with my photographers. I used to teach photographers at my studio. And I do sometimes. I said, do you want to be the Walmart photographer or do you want to be the Galleria photographer? So if you want to be the Walmart photographer, you shoot everything and you get low money, low amount. You shoot everything. I shoot this, I shoot that, I shoot that. And you're complaining to me that everybody keeps coming to you trying to get you to go down on your prices. Well, then that's what the Walmart theme is. The prices are low, but they have a quantity. Or do you want to be the Galleria photographer, where you specialize in 2 or 3 and get what you want and get that focused audience? So it's the same with business. You don't want to be this jack of all trades. I use Brian Tracy. I'm sure he's an older guy. I'm sure in his lifetime he had lots of ideas. I like Damon John, and I like Donald Miller, but they've niched to a few. So you have to pick. And Brian Tracy is on leadership, goal setting, achievement. So you have to pick. So if you're gonna have more than one, I'll tell you, like the guy told me, then Marsha, you're gonna have to have more sites. So you can't have a blog with all of those different things, but you can connect 2 or 3.
Thank you. That was amazing. Thank you for the question too, Ms. Tibble. If I hope I said your name right. I have one more question out there that I'd like to get with you, and talking about those websites. I think you may have grazed over this in your presentation, but is it better to have separate website for the blog, or is it better to have it combined on your website?
That's a great question. People ask me all of the time. It just depends on your preference, because as long as you're putting fresh content, Google's gonna pick it up. Now, if you put it on your blog, if you put the blog on your website, which now a lot of websites have that feature, then you just click on blog and do your blog. But if you don't have a website, or you don't know how to do it, it's too difficult, then you can have a separate blog. For me, I have one on my site and I have a separate one. But that's just my preference, because I can do both of those. So I guess to say it's not going to be different. So if you have the capability of already having it on your website, keep it there. I don't know if you remember the sample. I showed you Starbucks. They had blog on their website. And then I showed you another company. They had blog, Brian Tracy. He had blog on, he had a link called blog on his website. So if you have a website and you have the features and capability to have it, I say put it, because now it's a part of your website. But if you don't have, because some people don't have a website and they want to blog. If you don't have a website or they don't know how to do it, it's like, I have a website. I don't know. I did my own website, but I don't know how to add it. So if that's the case, then you have to do it separately. But it's a good idea to have it with your website. And I know that you can do it with WordPress, with Wix, with GoDaddy. Now they all have a feature for that. But it's no different whether it's on your site or not. But it's best on your site. But if you don't know how to do it, just you can start a freestanding blog. So that's for everybody. Everybody can start a blog, whether you have it on your website or not.
Great.
What's the best? I see a question. What's
Go
the
right
what's
ahead.
the-
What's the best way to get images for your blog post?
Oh, that's great. Oh my God, you guys have wonderful questions. This is what I I love these questions. This is what I use for images for my blog because I love blogging. I do. I should write one today, as a matter of fact. So I use several different things for mine because I'm always thinking, oh, this is a good idea for my blog. Number one, you can use stock photo. Okay. Unsplash. I love Unsplash. Unsplash. Now, Unsplash is free and it's wonderful. People like me, photographers, we give our photography to Unsplash and the customer gets to use it for free and we get credit. So you got really good photography on Unsplash, and any of those are copyright free. And it's on every category. So I have a writer. I think Isabel is a writer and she has a blog. Let's say she wanted to make a blog today on how nature gives creativity for writers. And she knows that because it's true. She might, let's say she blogged on how walking in nature gives creativity for writers. Then she goes to Unsplash and she looks for a picture and she types in the search bar walking in nature and a picture comes up and she can use that for her blog. So let's say Shonda, Miss Tyndale, she's a consultant and she wants to write a blog on 3 aspects of a leader, because she does a lot of leadership. So she talked about 3 aspects of a leader in her blog. If she goes to Unsplash, she types into the search bar people or leaders or group pictures pop up. She can use it in her blog. The second thing I do for pictures, I use my cell phone. Those phones are good. If I'm out and about, I might think, wow, this is a great picture for a blog. I take the picture, save it. The third way is Canva, Canva. These are places I use. Okay, Canva, where you can get all kinds of images, copyright free for your blog. So Unsplash, Pixel, that's really good. Pexel, another great copyright free site. Pixel, Unsplash, Canva, and your own pictures. You'll never run out of images for your blog.
Great, thank you. And that is amazing. And I know that we could probably just continue on. And if you have any questions last minute, please go ahead and throw them in. Everybody's saying thank you, of course, right now. I want to thank you. I want to let everybody know that if you want more information about what's going on today or everything, you're going to get a survey after this. And if you would please just fill it out, let us know how we're doing with these great things. And of course, give Marsha a little feedback too, just letting us know that you're getting some great quality information and so that we can continue to provide that. And also, if you need a copy of today's program or anything, that'll come with people that actually fill out that survey. So with that said, thank you all for joining us. I'm going to also share something with you real quick because we have a few more things coming up and I'd just like to tell you about them. Starting on June 23rd, we have 5 Keys to Being a True Professional, Part 1, followed up on with Part 2 on June 30th with Miss Lorna Gibby. And she will also be going with us through July in the first parts of it with Ethics, a Higher Standard, how to be a good teammate and a good person. You know, that person that's just a good teammate, but they're not such a great person to hang out with. Lorna's going to help us with that guy. And so the keys to success, how to get along with people, all people. So as you can tell, our next few sessions coming up are going to be focused on people, being a part of it, being a good person and being a good teammate. And I hope that you will join us for those. Spread the word. And please remember that all of these come to you free to you. We just want you to be able to take advantage of it as entrepreneurs and business owners coming to you from there, the SBDC, which you can go to the SBDC website to register for these webinars and get in contact with a professional advisor to actually sit down and talk with you about your ideas as well. And we wouldn't be here at all without the funding and that we get. And we'd like to give some special thanks out to first of all, the Small Business Administration, the state of Texas, North Texas SBDC Regional Office, and North Central Texas College. All of them go together to make these webinars possible, as well as all of the many things that we have at your disposal. We thank all of you for joining us today. I want to take another quick thank you. Thank you so much, Marsha. We absolutely love having you all the time. Thank you all for the great questions.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for all of the thank yous and the wonderful comments I'm looking at in the chat. Thanks so much.
And don't worry, she'll be back. She's just taking a little breather here as she's getting through July. She's got to have an opportunity to take some vacation for herself and her family. So thank you so much. We'll be back again. Thank you again for joining us. And this will end today's webinar. We hope that you have an amazing week.
Thank you so much. It was excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. To thank all of you. It was good to see you, Shonda, and all of you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.